tired of taking. I can't get enough of this whole world. Another auctioneer, a fist inside of his mouth, watching it happen. Tide rolled in and washed us out. What was enough back then is more than enough right now. How we missing every train with love lights on, or how the rainbow bends, turn around and it's already gone, watching it happen. Trouble ahead that everyone saw. I thought I knew back then, but I knew nothing at all.
Hello. I have now landed in Barcelona and I have been walking around for a few hours to different places, just seeing the town a bit. I have recently bought this new microphone because I got some response on my sound on the last video not being too good. So now we're trying something else, which I really hope works because it was a bit expensive, I think. But as said before, I'm currently in Barcelona and have spent my first day here as a knitter. I went to 2 different yarn stores. Those were the only ones I could find, which for me as a Dane is kind of crazy because I'm used to there being quite a lot of yarn stores around, even in smaller towns. And like in Copenhagen, which is smaller than Barcelona, I think, I would assume so, there is quite a lot of yarn stores. And in Aalborg, which is the closest bigger city to where I live in Denmark, there are, I think, maybe 2 or 3, if not even more. I only know of 2 or 3. So that's even more than in Barcelona. But then again, I think there is a lot more Danish knitters than Spanish ones. From what I have seen, I've not seen a single person while I've been here in Spain knit, which is quite unusual for me. I often see people like on the bus or just different places at a cafe, sitting and knitting, drinking a cup of coffee and such. But yeah, I first went to La Lanelou, which is this amazing yarn store in Barcelona, which if you ever go to Barcelona as a knitter, you should definitely go there because I loved it so much, and I really had to restrain myself and not using my entire savings in that store because it was so inspiring. I love the yarns. They have both a lot of international yarns and also a lot of different Spanish brands of yarn. I bought yarn for 2 projects myself. I bought Knitting for Olive, so even though I have traveled all the way to Spain, I somehow continue to buy Knitting for Olive, even though it's a Danish brand. But what can you do? I love it. But when that's said, it's the first time I have bought the cotton merino, because in the past I've only bought the merino and soft silk mohair, but I had to try this because I'm not used to this type of weather and I want to make a summer top so I can actually wear my knits for more of the year than only in maybe 1 month or 2 when it's the coldest of winters here. In Barcelona, I think it only gets to about 15 degrees or so in the winter, and that's in January, which that's like a normal spring day in Denmark. That's even in the warmer part of the spring or fall, so it's a bit weird for me, to be honest. So I had to buy some more summer yarn. I'm going to be making the Chrysler. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but the Chrysler or Chrysler top by Knitting for Olive, which I find so adorable. I saw the other day a knitting podcast where a girl, I can't remember who, so I'm very sorry, but I'll link it below if I come up with it later. She had made it in a soft pink or salmon, I think, and it was so adorable and I loved it. But I wanted to do it also maybe in a summer color, but being a deep autumn in the seasonal color palettes, it didn't fit me that well with a lot of the colors they had in the store, so I ended up buying the navy blue instead, which I absolutely love. So I think it's going to be fine. Or it's not only fine, I actually am going to love it. So I can't wait to cast it on and getting started on it. I also bought another yarn, and this, however, is from a Spanish brand. It's this one. There we go. It won't focus, but I think you get the sense of it. It's the Pastoreta. I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation. I'm a lot better at understanding Spanish when I hear it or read it than I am to speak it myself. So I have been thinking about taking some Spanish lessons, being an au pair here in Spain. But it's from this brand, Shaya. I'm not even going to really try to pronounce it. How do you even pronounce this? I don't know. Xolla. I don't know. I don't know when it starts with an X. I'm not used to that. So yeah, I don't know. But it's on the back of it. It says that Pastoreta is a breed-specific and non-superwash fingering weight yarn made in Spain in small family mills, and I absolutely love that. That it's a bit more homemade, or at least a smaller business, it seems, and locally produced. So it's not something that has been shipped all over the world to be able to be made. It seems like it's a good brand. I don't know that much about it, except it's Spanish, but I will love to learn more about it. Maybe do some reading on it, I think. But yeah, I also went to another yarn store, All You Knit Is Love. That, however, I didn't buy anything in there, and I think I was just very hungry, so I was feeling a bit off. So I would definitely love to check that out another day, but I was a bit creeped out of the way of going there because I went solo, because I'm alone in Barcelona at the moment. But the way there, it's these very narrow streets, and the way I went, it was very dark and gloomy, and it was just a bit scary, I think. So I was a bit freaked out when I got there, but on the way back I found a better way that wasn't as scary and weird. So you can definitely go the wrong way, I learned. But the man working there was super nice, and I forgot to say, in Lanandu, the people who worked there were absolutely amazing. They were so friendly. They started to speak to me in Spanish, and I kind of tried to respond, but later when they talked to me again, I responded in English, just so they knew, like, I can't really talk that much Spanish, and they were very nice about it and just talked to me in English. And the girl I talked to, she was quite good at English, so it was fairly easy. So yeah. Oh, and yeah, I have a Knitting for Olive card holding the microphone. It was something I had in my wallet from the Knitting for Olive store in Aarhus in Denmark. I visited sometime last year. I just kept it there for some reason, but now it comes to use. But yeah, so yeah, but also yeah, the man in All Your Knitters Love was very nice and all, and he wasn't sketchy at all, as the street I had walked to the shop were. So that was very nice for a change. But yeah, it was a very lovely shop. They didn't have as much yarn as La Lanalu, but they had some good yarns. I did, however, not feel as inspired in there as I did in La Lanalu, but I think that was a good thing for my budget at least. But yeah, I also went to some different other shops, and I kind of want to talk about that as well because I'm very excited. I have been over the summer watching the show The Summer I Turned Pretty. Why I couldn't, for some moment there I couldn't remember what it was called, which is weird because I've been seeing it all summer. But I watched that show, and in one of the last episodes, why am I forgetting everything now? What is her name? I can't remember the main person's name. Well, the actor is Lola Tongue, I think her name is. Belly, that's her name. Isabel, but Belly. She had been talking to a guy, so spoiler alert. And he recited a poem in Spanish. So I loved the poem. So I kind of have gone to a bookstore, Casa di Libre, and I bought 2 books. I bought first and foremost, this book. Oh, it got a dent. Oh, I have to see if I can fix that. I bought this one where the poem is in. And then I bought this other one because I think I've read a few of those and I like those poems a lot as well. And I think reading poems is a very good way to learning a language because they are shorter texts with a lot of meaning, and I like that a lot. I haven't been reading a lot of poems in the past, but I really do enjoy reading them when I find some I find very good. But the author is Neruda. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Pablo Neruda. I don't know. But it's the 20 poems of love and desperation, I think the English title is. But this is in Spanish, so I'm going to read it in Spanish, of course. But I'm very excited about that. And just being able to maybe sit at a cafe knitting and reading some poetry and just finding my moments in this big city and in this foreign country for me. I haven't had the easiest time with the family I am with currently, and have been thinking about maybe changing family to see if I can find another. So we'll see how that is going. So maybe I'm going to leave Barcelona, either go home or to another city. But I'm excited about what is going to happen next, even though I'm very sad that it isn't going that well with my current family. So I had to go to Barcelona today to see if I could find some of the things I aren't going to be able to find in Denmark, such as Spanish books. they are quite expensive if you also buy them in Denmark, and there aren't really that big a selection. So I had to go to a Spanish bookstore. I couldn't help myself, as with the yarn. These two, lovely little bunch. I felt like I wanted to kiss the skein of yarn, but I remembered I'm wearing lipstick, which I'm not wearing lipstick that often, but the girl I'm now au pair for at the moment, she suggested that I should wear it today because she saw I had some lipsticks in my makeup kit. So I'm wearing lipstick. But yeah, I just noticed, or not only noticed now, of course, but I ended up buying 2 skeins of dark blue yarn, but for different projects. As said before, this knitting for Olive was going to be the Chrysler top, and this other one I actually forgot to say what was going to be, but it is going to be a knitted hat that I have decided to design a pattern for. So you'll have to keep watching the future videos if you're going to hear more about that, or follow me on Instagram, where you can see down below, where I'll also be posting about the process of it, maybe. I think so. I will definitely do it. And pictures when I have started to knit it and grading the pattern and such. So that's going to be exciting. I am currently having the Dahlia mittens I've designed test knitted, and have now entered into the second week of the test knits. They are to be done in nearly 1.5 weeks, a bit more, and then the test knit is over, and I'm going to be doing the final edits of the pattern before releasing it. So it's going to be ready for the winter. So I'm finding that very exciting because the Dahlia mittens are my very first pattern, and I can't wait to be able to wear them myself in the winter here in Spain, especially the fingerless mittens. But I'll just add a picture of them there. So yeah, I think Barcelona is a very, very beautiful city, but it's a bit difficult to be a knitter here maybe, because it's very, very warm, and lots of the knits I have done so far, being a girl from Scandinavia, are like sweaters and mittens and stuff like that, and it's too hot here at the moment to wear it. So I haven't tried the cotton merino yet, so I'm not an expert on that. I can't say if that's too warm or if it's totally fine, but I hope it's fine. I think it is. I hope so. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm currently in a very beautiful park. It's the first time I'm here. I can't remember the name of it, but it's next to the zoo, Barcelona Zoo. So yeah, I think I'm going to then do the next thing. Do something else, maybe? I don't know. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some knitting. Okay, so I actually still have this on, I noticed. But yeah, I'm currently knitting the Nutmeg sock I talked a bit about in my last video. I'm knitting it from the long yarns. Oh, I can't remember the name. I'll put it down there because I don't have the label for it. But yeah, I'm knitting this right now. I found that sock knitting is a very nice thing to do when I'm going by bus and other things like that, because it's very easy to transport. So yeah, I think one of my next videos maybe are going to be like sock knitting for all the seasons or something like that, because I've gathered a quite large, no, that's not the word, a quite big list of socks on Ravelry. No, a quite big bundle. That's the word I was looking for. I've created a rather large bundle, big bundle, large bundle, I don't know, on Ravelry, which I'm going to just be sharing a few patterns from, maybe, I don't know, 14, if that's too much or too little. I think I have about 60 in the bundle, so I'm just going to be linking it in the video, but talking about some of the favorite patterns of mine from the bundle, and those I may be most likely to knit or just find very fascinating and wanting to knit in the future, even though it may not be a possibility. I don't know, but I think that's maybe going to be one of my next videos. So if you want to see that, please subscribe and follow along for my next video. And if not, that is something you're interested in, then there's going to be other videos in the future, and you're more than welcome to still tag along and see what I'm going to do, because I'm rather new at this whole YouTube video thing, as you can maybe hear on the way I speak and how I behave in these videos. I'm still getting used to it, but I would like to do it a lot more because I find it very calming and very exciting to be able to talk about knitting again, because I haven't got anyone to talk about knitting with here in Spain. So it's only when I video call my cousin I'm able to talk about knitting, and that's like only once a week or something like that. Sometimes not even once a week. So I spend a lot of time just thinking about knitting but not being able to speak about it. So I want to make these videos to be able to do that. And I think I may close this video off now. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and see you next time. Maybe, I hope so.